What's up, guys? So, welcome to the first. So, I guess it's not our first episode. We just did our first episode, but it's the first current astrology. So, each week we're going to break down the current astrology, what to look forward to. Um, not even just the upcoming week, but just in general. I mean, obviously, right now we have the craziest. What would you say this is the craziest astrological week of how long would you say?
Gosh, for like the last 30 years. Well, we have back-to-back energy,
So wild.
and kind of like what you said in our last episode, it's like we're moving into another sign. So we're getting out of the age of Pisces into Aquarius. So we're kind of in this like shift mode, if you want to
Yeah,
call it, and but right now we have the solar eclipse coming up, and so that's
tomorrow, yeah, or like in a few hours. Let's see where the
I
planets are
think it's
now.
Monday night, and then Tuesday is like the solar eclipse. Yeah. But it's all about ending karmic cycles, ending karmic relationships, ending because it's on the south node in Sag. So it's what do you want? It's like moving forward into another direction, new beginnings.
Yeah, yeah. There's just so much going on. I think we can all kind of feel the intensity of things right now. And it's just a jam-packed week, like Missy said, like most intense week in 30 years, moving into a new time. This is something that we're gonna feel for the next 30 years, really, like for
Right.
more longer than that, because it marks a start. And then when Pluto in a few years switches into Aquarius, it's going to be even more of like a boom wow factor. Um,
Right.
so yeah, we have Jupiter and Saturn going into Aquarius. I think I can get the dates. Hold on, I believe it's
June
the
21st or December
well,
21st.
that's when they conjunct, but they go into Aquarius at different times.
The 19th. Oh,
Like
yeah.
obviously, which one would go faster? Jupiter goes faster, so I think like the 16th or something, 15th or 16th, Saturn enters Aquarius and then it moves a little bit slow, and then Jupiter catches up to it at like
Right.
0 or 1 Aquarius on the 21st. But basically,
Right.
14th we have, so tomorrow we have the eclipse, and then the 21st is the great conjunction. Jupiter and Saturn meeting together in the sky for the first time in how many years?
Um 80
Around
years.
the first, well, I thought it was way longer. Like
200
the lot,
years.
I thought it was
In
800 years.
Aquarius, I think it's like 200 years.
I watched Eliza Kelly briefly, and she said like 800 years, but that could be wrong.
Yeah. But
In
when we
Aquarius,
had,
yeah,
right, when we had Saturn move into Aquarius back in March, it's about restrictions, right? And so it's collective restriction. So it's freedom. And Aquarius is all about freedom. And so it restricted our freedom, our rights, what we stood for, when it moved into Aquarius. And we also had the stay-at-home orders. We all had to stay home. And so we're going to see that happen again. And we're going to see more restrictions come when Saturn moves into Aquarius. And at the same time, we're going to also see when Jupiter starts getting into the more of the sign of Aquarius, and they start coming apart, we're going to
yeah.
see people start to rise up and fight
Okay.
back.
So
You
with
know,
the furthest, because Jupiter moves faster than Saturn. For you people that
right?
don't know, I'd say close to 3 times faster, right? Like around that. So when Jupiter moves further away from Saturn, that's when there's gonna be more of a separation between the two. But what do you feel the coming together of the two energies represents, of Jupiter and Saturn? Because there's such different energies. Saturn is very restrictive, Jupiter is very expansive.
Well, I feel like with Aquarius, it's kind of bringing that energy of like, what do you really want and grounding it, right? In
Yeah.
Aquarius and helping the collective. Like, okay, so what do you really want is Jupiter, the God. The gods are the divine is telling you, okay, this is the gift I'm giving you. This is what you really want. And then Saturn is the taskmaster that's helping you ground that energy. And that's what's
Okay.
happening right now, especially in December. It's like, okay, what do you really want? And the gods are giving that to you. And then Saturn's grounding that and saying, you've wanted this for a long time. And so here you go. Here's what you're going to do, helping the collective for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
But the issue with that is entering into the age of Aquarius, entering into Aquarius, Saturn entering into that is being restricted. Saturn's about restrictions, right? And so Aquarius is about freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of collective. And last time this happened,
Oh, you're breaking up again.
and the last time we saw this, we saw Saturn enter Aquarius. We saw the rise of all the riots happening, the Black Lives Matter,
Yeah.
all of that happening, and that's what we're going to see again. But it's going to be more of a Jupiterian way of like, okay, now we're going to figure something out. Like now something's going to come out of this, But still, as Saturn goes through the sign of Aquarius for the next 2 years, we're still going to see the government trying to restrict us. The Saturn is about government. It's about restrictions. And Aquarius is like, I want my freedom back,
Yeah.
And so we're going to see a lot of these riots and this movement of people fighting for their freedom while Saturn's in Aquarius. And Jupiter here is really help that. But again, and I feel like in 2022, Saturn's going to come back and say, okay, what do you really believe? With Jupiter and Pisces, it's like, what do you really want? What do you really believe? What are your true beliefs?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. So you think like what do you see, moving into 2021? We mentioned in the Cosmos community, you guys should all join if you haven't. Not all of you, just if you want to, but yeah. You said something about the numerology of 2021 being a 5-year and that being
right.
the number of Leo, while the numerology of 2020, 2 + 2 + 0 + 0 is 4, which is Cancer. Cancer is all about staying home. So, and Leo is really fun, really, really out there, like movement, creative. So what do you think like 2021 will be like in that sense with that said?
I think people are going to want to like break free. I think they're going to want to go out and have fun, like travel, be creative, and they're not going to want to stay home anymore. They're not going to want to listen to the government. They're going to want to go and do things, create things. Leos are leaders. They're going to charge forward. You're going to see a lot of people wanting to travel and stuff like that. And the government's going to try to restrict it, and they're just not going to stand for it in 2021 anymore.
Yeah. And I wonder,
we have the North Node that is squaring Neptune. So you have this fogginess right now about who won the election, like who's going to be the current president, and all of that's going to come up too with the riots, and then you have Biden that has won the election, right? And his Neptune's in his 10th house. And so it just shows that.
And so much 12th house energy. He has everything in 12th house in Scorpio.
And so that means that he's not the one that's basically running his presidency. There's someone behind the scenes that's running it, and it's not him, And then with the Neptune in the 10th house, it's like, it also talks about like scandals in government. You can see how the Neptunian way, like how did he win? Like what happened? Like, I don't get what happened, And so you're going to have a lot of people rise up and not understand what's happening with the government in 2021. There's that Neptunian squaring feeling of like, what's going on, like the fog.
Yeah, it feels fishy. And also, we have to say that like different countries have different karma, and right. The U.S. is going through. So each country has a birth chart too. Yes, it's true. And the U.S. is going through its first Pluto return. So that's why, in my estimation, I could be wrong, I foresee that it's going to be everything that's going to happen is going to be a lot more intense for America than the rest of the world. I think that I expect, and I'm not just saying this because I am European, I live in Europe, but I foresee things going back to normal, or at least calming down way earlier in Europe than in the US, because I think that once the COVID, like just purely physical stuff starts to die down, maybe there's a vaccine, or maybe things just like start to get better in that way, I don't think that's the end of it for America. I think that there's so many issues. And I think that the fact that America is so separated with everything related to COVID, that even if that ended, like the tensions, like there's just so much going on. There's so much darkness, because Pluto return is about the darkness showing itself, revealing itself. So the stuff that's been unconscious, all the racism, all the structural racism, all of the stuff that we've kind of that surfaced this year in America, even like the sex scandals and all that stuff, like it's coming boiling to the surface. That's the Pluto energy.
Right. Yeah, 100%. 100% agree with that for sure. And I feel like it's also bringing up like, what do you really believe? What do you really want? You know, and it's really asking people to stand up for what they believe, you know, with Pluto return as well.
Totally.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. Shadow work, like collective shadow work in the US, a collective purge. So yeah, it's going to be different for every place. So what can we expect this week? We should
The
probably,
solar eclipse.
yeah, we should probably like in the future, like get dates or something. I think that'd be kind of cool if we could just kind of give people like the energy
Right.
of like the
So for
different
the solar
days.
eclipse, I just feel like it's about breaking karmic cycles. You know, you have it exactly on the south node. And so it's releasing karmic relationships, karmic ways you've done things in the past, you know. It's business relationships that no longer serve you. You know, you can feel it too. People are like, I know I'm supposed to be going some other direction, and they're kind of scared to take that leap of faith. And this is kind of like the divine saying, okay, get rid of what no longer served you, and like, let's head in this new direction.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely. I think that the solar eclipse, like, definitely like lots of initiative, lots of energy with that Sag. It's right on my moon, so it's gonna be interesting for me. Not that that matters, but yeah. So also like I think of like goal setting. I think it's just like an ultimate time to set new goals with confidence and ideological, philosophical, like goals that are linked to your higher philosophies, right?
Right.
And then it's gonna be really interesting because on that same day we have Venus sextile Jupiter, which is a really,
Which helps you to let go, gives you that
yeah,
confidence. So
it's great for partying and making love as well. um,
I
and
have it in my 8th house.
nice, the sextile or a conjunction.
The solar eclipse will be my 8th house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
4th house for me. So then the day that same day, wait, I'm reading these notes. Why is it saying? Oh yeah, so that night of Monday, the moon will move into Capricorn. So that is kind of like it's gonna be interesting with the moon in Capricorn right before the Great Conjunction, right? That's like that's where we're really gonna start feeling the kind of build up energy on Monday until the 21st.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Totally build up energy.
And then Venus entering Sag on Tuesday.
God.
That will be interesting. Away from
More
Scorpio.
like, let's have fun, let's party, let's not be so serious, and you know.
Psycho and overly intense.
Yeah.
So then Thursday is Saturn into Aquarius. I'm guessing what the site I'm looking at is like Eastern USA time, so it's more like midnight on Thursday. So it's more like, you know, it'll feel more like Wednesday night. Saturn into Aquarius, so that's the 17th. And then Moon also is entering Aquarius on the 17th. So lots of like I think the 17th Thursday is when we're really gonna feel like that Aquarius energy. Like we're gonna really feel it with the moon also there.
Yeah.
Then Saturday, moon. Oh, that's beautiful. So I love when the moon's in Pisces, and the moon enters. The moon is in Pisces on the 19th on Saturday, right as Jupiter enters Aquarius. So when the moon is in Pisces, it's like for me, and I've heard different astrologers say this. Like it's like really like when things. What do you think when the moon's in Pisces? I always feel like it's such an artistic, like kind of free flowing, beautiful, abstract kind of 3 days of the month. Like everything feels so spiritual.
Totally. It's where I want to listen to music.
Yeah, me too. I just want to like chill out and just
I want
like
to turn on the music and dance with my girls and just like, you know, it's almost like you want to like clock out.
yeah, like for me as a Pisces, I always want to escape, and I feel like that escape is so much easier when the moon is in Pisces. Like, you know, that escape from reality and just like imagination and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
So that same day, like I said, so that Saturday is gonna be beautiful. Moon in Pisces, Jupiter into Aquarius. So Jupiter's into Aquarius until May of 2021, while Saturn is in Aquarius until March of 2023.
Yeah.
So big changes, and then we see how how much faster Jupiter moves than Saturn, and that same day, Saturday, Sun conjunct Mercury. So that's good for like quick thinking, mental alertness, curiosity. Maybe giving us some more ideas. I have this natally, so that will be interesting.
Yeah.
But just how would you say that fits? I mean, it's not that important of an aspect, but
I would say that it's it's an alignment, right? So you're aligning with what you want to speak about and what is shining a light on what needs to be said,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
all coming out, with the Sun and Mercury there, like your true beliefs, what you really want. It's all coming out. You're having that conversation, and it could be like a fun conversation because Venus is in Sag, so you could be like, let's go build a snowman.
yeah.
you
Sounds
know
sounds like a fun idea. So yeah, then we'll take you just to the fact that the 21st at 1:20 p.m. I think New York time, Jupiter conjunct Saturn at 0.29 Aquarius, the Great Conjunction, and that is mega, 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 mega.
Right. And I want to say too, like if anyone has this 0 degrees in your chart and it's coming up, you probably might be starting to feel depressed, anxiety, like just what is happening. You might feel like you just can't connect with people. I found like a lot of people that have this degree are just like, what is wrong with me? And it's just Saturn right at that 0 degree mark that they're just like, there's like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. But I just want to say, it's just a transit that's happening.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to read something because this is so crazy. So Jupiter conjunct Saturn is known as the Great Conjunction that happens on average every 19 years. Throughout history, it has been closely observed by astrologers and been linked to the rise and fall of royalty, leaders, and great people. Some believe that the biblical Star of Bethlehem was the Great Conjunction of 7 BC. So check this part out. This is crazy. According to astrologer Daniel T. Ferreira, when a Great Conjunction occurs during an election or inauguration year, the president is likely to die in office.
And Ronald Reagan did.
Yeah. And the table at the end of this article shows that this has been the case since 1940, except for the last two Great Conjunctions. However, there were assassination attempts against both of these presidents. And we've all heard about Biden and his health. So, I mean, this just makes me think that he's going to die like he's going to get in office and he'll be dead by like, I don't know, I give him 2 months. What do you give him? Or do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, he's not even running. He's not even the one running the office anyways with his son in his 12th house. Someone else is, So we already know that someone else is going to be taking his seat anyways,
Camilla
just
Harris?
What?
Camilla Harris?
I don't think it's her. I think it could be someone else because her astrology chart doesn't really show that she would be the next president. I think it could be
the vice president becomes the next president. That's the rule. But
yeah.
Someone else would have to become the vice president, which I think is the Speaker of the House. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And also just depends on like all this stuff that happens with Trump and
yeah, watch Trump win.
Like people are still fighting for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no comment from this. No comment from this guy about that. But
we just don't know. And here's the thing about when it comes to politics, they both have their own agenda, right? Like they both have an agenda to rule over what people and whatever that agenda looks like to them. And it, whether who wins, it's like, okay, who's going to rule in a different way over the people,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I think I feel pretty complete with the current astrology. So anything else you'd add? I think we killed it.
No, maybe next week we'll talk about.
Can't hear you. Okay, now it's back recording. So you said maybe next week our recording has been freezing just for people listening, so we're gonna figure it out by next episode. But there's something that's been happening. But you were saying by next week we will
figure out the great conjunction and how it affects all the signs, and why 20 years this really affects your business, like who you're going to be for the next 20 years with this conjunction.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. We can go into detail of that and just like what the astrology looks like for the rest of the year. Alrighty, well, thank you, and I hope everyone has a great week, and thank you for tuning in. And please, yeah, save. I wish I had my cats with me. So yeah, subscribe to us. This is going to be on all podcasts, like as an audio podcast everywhere, and then also as a video podcast. So hope you guys enjoyed. Bye bye.